If anything, once you had taken the lead with a penalty, did you sit back and give them too much possession?
No, we try to press them to don't give much possession. But if you do this, they kick a long ball, you have to win the second ball and restart again. We try to do it. I think we didn't do a good possession. It was not the problem when we were out of possession. You control the game with the ball, not without.
So for you then, what was the biggest problem?
For me, 11 against 10, we have to control much better the game with the ball and not without. It's not because we know when we play here that they kick long ball, they try to fight for the second ball, they find the corner, and that's a problem because they are very strong in the set pieces, and that was the game. We were ready to do it, but with 11 men, we have to control much better the game with the ball.
All those dramatic moments, and indeed have live reaction very shortly indeed to Everton 1, Tottenham 1. I just run Michael, in the position Everton are in. They've done it again. They did it against Chelsea. They've now done it with 10 men tonight. The belief, the togetherness that Everton are showing, even their relegation rivals look at that and think, Everton have got the bit between their teeth.
Absolutely. I mean, as I touched on before the break, it's their trump card at the moment, because they don't look like scoring many goals. I know they scored 2 against Chelsea, they scored 1 tonight, but it's not their strength. So their trump card is this belief that they've got, is their crowd, their home crowd. It's this great atmosphere they've got in the dressing room. It's obviously the new manager, that feel-good factor, and that's what they've got going for them at the minute. And of course, you look at their rivals lower down, and some haven't got that. But you do see Everton as an upwardly mobile club at the moment.
10 points in the last 15 at home. Might be putting words in his mouth. He was talking about the red card there. What was Doucouré thinking?
Oh, just a mental moment where he lost his thought trail. It's as simple as that. He was obviously frustrated that Harry Kane tackled him after the whistle, but you just can't do this. You don't realise the implications to your team. I mean, he really could have cost Everton tonight. You saw the way Seamus reacted himself. You saw the way the team reacted. We all know you can't do that in the game anymore. It was inevitable that he was going to see red after that, regardless of how much he complained about the incident. And you see Onana realising the implications, going 1-0 down when you can't score goals as it is. You're giving the opposition an opportunity to go ahead. It could have been disastrous for Everton, and he will look back on that with real regret.
Seamus Coleman just said he didn't think Harry Kane needed to react like that. Is that a fair point?
I think, honestly, Steve, I think it's a shame. That's where we are at the moment in the modern game. If Harry doesn't hit the floor, he probably doesn't send off Doucouré, and Tottenham don't come out with the advantage. I think it's gamesmanship now. It's what the modern player does.
We've been there for ages, for a long time, though. Same with penalties.
Yeah.
If you don't go down, if you're honest and you stay on your feet, you don't get them. So, I mean, what do you expect the player to do? It's a very difficult one. We've been bemoaning it for a long time now, with red cards, with penalties, same type of thing.
Talking of penalties, there was little. Any doubt about this one?
No doubt. The only doubt there was, it was his England teammate in goal, Pickford. You think?
I mean, talking about the awarding of it and talking about.
Oh no doubt about that at all. I mean, Keane does this on a regular basis. I mean, he doesn't have no awareness. Romero there just gets his toe ahead of him, and he just invites him to kick him, and he obliges. I mean, that's just. I mean, you as a manager, you're pulling your hair out when your defender does that. I mean, it's not as if he can't see him; he can see him coming in. Just stay on your feet. He's going away from goal, and it's just a ludicrous decision. But he tucks it away brilliantly, Michael.
Yeah, we were all debating where's he going to go, left, right, down the middle. He goes to his favourite side, but you know what? I think if Pickford goes that side, look at this, right in the corner, just brilliant. Just his mentality, he's gone down. He's got an Everton player a red card. All of a sudden, the fans are all against him. There's a lot of hysteria about him, and he can just shut it all out, take a deep breath, and pick it, right in the corner. People think it's easy taking a penalty. It's not. He makes it look easy, and he's just got that calmness about him. He just doesn't care, does he? He's so comfortable in his ability and everything else. It was just an unerring penalty, really.
15 Premier League goals against Everton in his career, more goals against Jordan Pickford than any other Premier League goalkeeper. So he'll be sick of the sight of his England captain. Then Lucas Moura, he'd been on the pitch less than 6.5 minutes when he did this.
Yeah, it was unnecessary. He knows exactly what he's done. I mean, he jumps up Keane, he rolls around there, and then he's up very, very quickly. But as soon as he sees a red card, I would suggest, and that is it. Yeah, now you see him jump up. Yeah, it's a bad tackle. It's a straight legger. It's a leg-breaking challenge, and he's lucky to have got up. But fortunate for the Everton fans and for his teammates, he did get up and he smashed one in with his right foot. But I think he earned that right, for jumping up there. That was a nasty challenge.
There was already a nervousness. Tim touched on it before. There was already a nervousness about Spurs at that point. Everton, with 10 men, going into the latter stages, started to just push forward, and Spurs didn't react well to it. They just sort of backed off. There was a bit of nervousness.
Yeah, it's not been a bad game, actually, for a 0-0. Been a few chances, a few half chances. Harry Kane's had a couple. Everton have looked quite dangerous when they get the ball into the box and cross. They don't really have a prolific goal scorer, do they, in their team? So, you do feel that they're going to be trying to nick one and hold out for a clean sheet and win 1-0. But no, it's been a decent enough game, and I'd expect the deadlock to be broken in the second half.
No surprise Harry Kane's had a sight of goal, but for once he hasn't quite been able to find the way through.
He'd be disappointed with his finish. It was a good cross. He gets it in early, Perisic gets it onto his right foot and whips it across. But this is what they've been trying to do, trying to get the ball wide, and opposite. This is obviously the chance previous to it. There it is. He just swivels on that one. That's the one before the header, which comes in. But this is perfect for Harry Kane. He doesn't know. He knows exactly where the goals is. Tries to hit it with power into the right-hand corner. Here we go. There's a switch of play. Watch how quickly he gets this one in. He just shuffles it off his feet, and Harry Kane will be devastated that he's missed the target. And if he hits the target, he scores because the pace is on the ball, Michael.
Yeah, he gets there a little bit early, doesn't he? You see he takes a step back. He probably times his run a little bit wrong. But, I mean, that first chance, he didn't even look at the goal. He turns, he's on the floor, he turns, he swivels, he smashes it, and it's going right in the corner. I mean, that's just I know he didn't go in, but it's just a sign of a great striker. Even when you're not even looking at the goal, you just know exactly where the corner is. And as Tim said, he'll probably be disappointed with the header, but I felt that he just got in there a little bit too soon.
Yeah, he's got 9 headed goals this season, of course. Couldn't quite make it 10. But on that chance, you noted what Tim was saying really before the game about Spurs wing-backs tonight, Leo.
Yeah, 2 different systems. Everton, the back 4, Spurs with the wing-backs. Everton, under Sean Dyche, want to be narrow, want to stop Spurs having any opportunity in the middle of the pitch. And because of that, Spurs wing-backs have been in so much space. And Eric Dyer's played diagonal pass after diagonal pass, just trying to get them in. And they've actually got into some brilliant spaces. Jordan Pickford making that space there. You see Everton just trying to narrow off. Against that Spurs front 3, they can't leave them in too much space. They have to play narrow, and if Iwobi and Dwight McNeil aren't able to get back into the positions, it's a really easy pass for Eric Dyer to play that ball in, and Spurs have done it time after time. Everton have to be wary of it. They have to be in positions to be able to adapt, because you see that space. If they keep giving the likes of Perisic and Porro time and space in these areas, you've just seen the chance Tim spoke about, the header for Harry Kane. They'll keep picking out that striker, Harry Kane, and I don't expect them to miss too many opportunities like that.
And talking of space, Everton have only really had 1 opportunity, but Doucouré was allowed an awful lot of space. Should he score, Tim?
Yeah, he should have done better. He's not known for his goal scoring, but they keep it alive typically. You have to, when you defend a set piece from Sean Dyche side, you invariably have to defend a 2. It was coming behind him. He's had to go and find it, to be fair to him. So it would have been a difficult header to score from there. But if his preparation was a little bit better and he was coming onto it, he just stood in there and he reacted too late to get himself in line for it. And that was Dyche's header as well. That was a better one.
Because Everton haven't had that type of space at all, apart from that 1 chance.
Not at all. No, they've tried to get the ball in. O'Neill knocked a lovely left-footed ball in, but no one on the end of it, just towards the end of the half there. But that's their game, isn't it? Crossing the ball. It's just they haven't got anybody in the middle that you'd think is going to score a goal. So as I say, it feels to me like it might be a set piece that breaks the deadlock for Everton.
And it's the important thing for Everton is that clean sheet's intact. We've seen that under Sean Dyche. They then might have a threat.
Yeah, stay in the game. Keep the game tight. Don't give Spurs the opportunity to go ahead, because we're talking Everton are finding it difficult to create chances, seriously big chances. And if they do come along like that one for Doucouré, Everton have to take it. What they can't allow is for Spurs to get ahead in the game and suddenly Everton to chase it. Keep it tight. Think about how the Arsenal game went. Think about how the Brentford game went. One goal might be enough, and that's the way the back four have actually operated in that first half. Been so tight on Harry Kane, tried to not give him anything on the halfway line. So far, it's worked.
Finally poised.